Two balls and a strike to count on Taylor. Reyes fires, swinging a drive, deep left field. This is way back. Walker Buehler.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into DodgerHeads, presented by DodgerBlue.com. My name is Jeff Spiegel, joined today by Matt Moreno. We are talking Walker Buehler. Monday night, he throws the absolute best start of his career, a complete game shutout, the first of his career, 9 innings pitched, 3 hits, no walks, 10 strikeouts on 108 pitches. I said best start of his career. That's because Fangraphs has a game score from every career start of Buehler. Buehler posted a 97 last night, by far the highest. That's 7 points higher than anything else he has done this year. Matt, we're going to get into the velocity. We're going to get into the swing and miss, but I'm going to start here. Do you owe Walker Buehler an apology? You and I recorded about 8 hours before game time. You had him in the stock down category, so I'm going to give you a couple minutes to defend yourself here.
I mean, I don't think it's so much an apology because I did say that I expected him to on track and get things going. And it was more, I had him in that category because I expected this kind of performance, maybe not necessarily a complete game, but a very good start against the Braves and Max Fried, and we didn't necessarily get it. So I thought, okay, maybe he's going to need a little bit of time to sort of get things ironed out. It turns out that the Arizona Diamondbacks are the perfect remedy for that. Obviously, their struggles this season are well chronicled. But, Buehler, yes, you need to factor in that it was against the Diamondbacks a little bit, but also he kind of corrected things on his own. And he said after the game that he gave credit to the Dodgers pitching coaches, the strength team, the medical staff, obviously research and analytics. And he didn't get into details, and he typically doesn't, but they addressed some things, and that kind of was the result. The results are what we saw from that.
Yeah, I mean, I even said on our show, it's like he's typically a guy that doesn't feel like he's operating at 100% effort, in the sense of not that he doesn't care, but he's sort of, last year it felt like he was biding his time and saying, I'm going to be a slow ramp up to the second half of the year. I'm going to be at my best when we need me to be. And so it felt like that this year. He's been good, but not great. And yet last night, as we said, absolute dominance. The way I described what I saw last night was it was a perfect start in both attitude and arsenal. Arsenal-wise, he had just 4 balls in play against him last night with an expected batting average of over 220. He allowed no extra base hits. As we said, no walks, 10 strikeouts. He retires 15 in a row at one point. If you want to talk about his stuff, the fastball's topping out at 96.8 miles an hour. His average fastball velocity was up about 0.6 miles an hour from his season average. The cutter was up half a mile an hour as well. And when you're following that with a 79 mile an hour knuckle curve that you're throwing for consistent strikes, it's pretty much impossible. He throws 108 pitches, 56 swings with a 25% whiff rate, 19 called strikes, so 75 of 108 for strikes. But the curveball, I think, for me, was the key. He threw it 28 times. 22 of those went for strikes. So if you're throwing a 97 mile an hour fastball and then a curveball that is a strike 75 to 80% of the time, you're not going to do anything. And then you've got the attitude on the other hand. I love the I'm not coming out stuff. In the 8th inning, he comes out. He goes to Dave Roberts. He says, you're not taking me out of this game. I'm going to finish it. I love that when the pinch hitter comes up, he just looks over at the bench and he says, don't come out here, I don't care, and then he strikes the guy out on 3 pitches. Attitude and arsenal for Buehler, both at a 10 out of 10 last night. Complete dominance.
Definitely. Dave Roberts said it, that, you've seen maybe more dominant starts from him in the sense of obviously more strikeouts than the 10 that he had. But in terms of actual pitching, sequencing, and just putting everything together, like that was, the best. He said best that he felt he'd ever seen from Buehler, and I have to agree.
Yeah.
He wasn't really stressed, like you said. The Diamondbacks barely put the ball in play. They only ended up with 3 hits. He put another base runner on with a hit by pitch, but I'm pretty sure nobody got past second base. And I agree with you. I wasn't surprised to hear him, going down the dugout steps, him tell Dave Roberts, hey, like, I'm staying in the game. I will say I was surprised that he even pitched the 8th inning, and it wasn't so much that I didn't think he was capable of doing it. I just thought the way the Dodgers have kind of handled their pitching staff, that they were going to take the 7th shutout in and then hand it over to their bullpen. But I think, if I had to pick a favorite moment, it definitely would probably be the pinch hitter comes up, because you see that all the time, right? The pitching coach will come out and say, hey, here's kind of the book on him. And Buehler sort of looked over the dugout. Like they may have exchanged, not exchanged words from a negative sense. It looked like he was asking them a couple questions.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, he went and struck out the guy on 3 pitches. And it was like, okay, like, yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, I think Fabian Ardaya, I'd have to go back and watch. In his article, he made it seem like Buehler was basically like, just give me the scouting report from there. Like, we're good. Like, like, what does this guy need? And that was the perfect picture. Like, if you want to go look up that clip, that will tell you everything you need to know, because his first pitch is 96 miles an hour, right on the edge, outside, called strike. Then he throws a curveball that ends up below the zone that the guy fouls off. And then he throws another curveball that lands right on the edge on the outside part of the plate, called strike 3. 3-pitch strikeout. I mean, that was, again, a perfect encapsulation of everything that we saw from Walker Buehler. Again, attitude and arsenal. I'm curious. Ardaya also mentioned in his piece that the last batter of the game was a flyout to Cody Bellinger, that would have been Walker Buehler's last batter no matter what. So if he had allowed a hit there, they would have brought someone in. I refuse to believe that would have happened. Do you think Buehler actually would have come out of the game if Roberts came to get him with 2 outs in the ninth and a runner on first?
Yeah, I mean, they might have had to carried him off the field at that point, because I don't imagine that would have been a very good conversation. And Dave Roberts has had those in his career, and that honestly may have been one of the most difficult ones, just because Buehler is a very fiery personality. I think he would have kept the ball in his glove type thing and forced Roberts to sort of reach in and take it.
Yeah.
I was a little worried when David Peralta got his hit, but okay, are they going to pull him? But fortunately, we'll never know.
Yeah.
And he was able to finish it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Walker Buehler, again, the highest game score of his career, according to Fangraphs. 9 innings, no earned runs, no walks, just 3 hits and 10 strikeouts on 108 pitches. The first complete game shutout of his career, something that he said meant something to him, something he was looking forward to. And so, of course, the headline here as well, the Dodgers went on and won. They win 4-0. They beat the Diamondbacks. They're back in action tonight with Tony Gonsolin taking them out. That's Matt Moreno. My name's Jeff Spiegel. As always, we appreciate you joining us. Check out DodgerBlue.com, DodgerBlue1958 on social media. And, of course, subscribe, ring the notification bell here as well. We'll see you next time.